Okay, here's a delightful young lady. Bess Armstrong has been with us before. She's a very pretty, talented actress who's the co-star of the television series On Our Own, where she plays the part of Julia Peters, a young copywriter. Would you welcome, please, Bess Armstrong? Bess? First of all, wouldn't you like to be like Ardath Evitt when you're 74 years of age?
I wish
you have
I
a choice.
had her nerve now.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I would no more jump out of a plane.
74.
I
You wouldn't
couldn't
do that?
do it. No, I was thinking about it. I've thought about it a lot. If I could, I'd be afraid that my hands would freeze, like in a bad dream when you can't run or something, and that I wouldn't be able to pull the cord or something.
Well, you see, when you make your first jump, you're on a static line.
Oh, so they pull it for you?
Well, they hook it up in the plane, so when it trails and automatically opens. Otherwise, if people have been known, when they've made a jump, to freeze.
That's what I think I do.
And not be able to do that. But they also have now a little barometric thing that you wear. That when you reach an altitude of about 2,000 feet, it will automatically open the parachute.
Oh, yeah?
In case, you go...
2,000 feet's enough? I don't know.
Yeah.
You fly at 35,000. That's my only frame of reference.
So you don't jump from there?
No?
Oh, that's it. Be like the brass monkey before you got through. Oh, things would really be tingling at that altitude. Oh, that's mighty cold. That's about 660 below zero up there.
Where you fly? Really?
35,000 feet.
In like a 747? It's like...
It's about 60 below zero outside.
Are you serious?
Why would I make that up? Would I lie to you?
I don't...
Sure.
I can't believe that.
Well, yes. That's true.
That's why they don't let you open the windows, huh?
That's right. Yeah, I think it's for every 1,000 feet you go up in the air, the temperature drops like 3 degrees or something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well...
I'm so terrified of flying.
Why?
That I know... Well, I don't know.
I'm not making fun of it, because a lot of people have that fear, and it's a genuine fear.
I have this superstition. I pray at takeoffs and landings.
It's one of those.
And I always think if I forget, that's it. That's going to be the time that something happens. I don't know why that is, but if friends fly or if I fly, and of course, in this business, you're going back and forth every other week. Yeah. And I hate that.
I'll be honest to a certain extent. I've envisioned that when you get on the plane, and my only hope is that I see the headlines in the paper. My only hope is that there's not a bigger name on the plane. I know, I'll be honest with you. See, when you're a performer, you have that strange thing. You don't want to see Frank Sinatra and others killed in plane crash.
I thought of that when I flew back here.
I always go through the headlines singing Johnny Carson, TV of The Tonight Show, and 500 others are wiped out. That's my dream. No,
I thought of that last night. I flew back from New York last night, and by coincidence, I've been doing a movie in New York, and Desi Arnaz Jr. is in it. And, yay! And we were supposed to fly back like a week apart, but I was sitting in first class and kind of reading a book, and I hear somebody arguing with the stewardess about where he was going to stow his 5 tennis rackets, and who else could it have been but Desi? Yeah. So we ended up on the plane together, and I thought, that's another superstition right there, that if two of us are on the plane at once, something's got to happen. I'm very morbid.
That's strange. Do you have any other phobias?
Maybe it's just that. Well, maybe I'll find out. I don't know. Maybe if I took a took a boat
down the rapids or something.
Oh, I wouldn't even touch that. When she talked about roller coasters,
that turns you off too.
I can't get on roller coasters.
Well, what kind of wild, crazy thing would you do?
Drugs.
Drugs. Send all the letters to Miss Armstrong, folks. No, but you see, Ardath, she doesn't need that. She's getting her...
That's what you say, yeah.
She's getting spaced out from doing all these other things. You don't need all that stuff. Well, what is the wildest thing you've ever done? You've never done anything like that.
The wildest thing I've ever done.
No hang gliding?
No hand gliding.
Yeah. Scuba diving?
I broke all my front teeth jitterbugging once.
How...
Well, I did 2 flips at once, and the guy didn't figure out what I was doing.
See, that's a very dangerous sport, jitterbuggy.
Yeah, I know. You see, that's why I figure if I can do that dancing 2 feet off the ground...
Jumping out of a plane is total disaster.
Out, man. No way.
Let me take an interruption here. We shall be back in a second. talking to mild-mannered Bess Armstrong, All-American Girl. You do have that All-American Girl face.
Ever since I broke my teeth.
No, I didn't mean that.
Right?
No. I started to say something. You were talking about working in New York, and we'll talk about what you're doing. And you said everything is going so well for you. Everything is just fine that you expect. Now, a lot of people have this, be honest. When things are really going well, life is happy, your love life is happy, your career is going fine, you're in good health, do you ever get the feeling you don't deserve it and something awful is going to happen to balance it all out? There has to be a catch.
There has to be a catch. Something's gonna, I always think that.
Yeah.
I always do. And I had, one year when I was growing up, there was one year that was just awful.
Yeah.
Nothing went right. And so ever since that happened, that seemed to confirm that suspicion for me. I thought, you see, there was a catch. I had to go through an absolutely awful year to make up for 17 good ones. So I keep thinking that's going to happen again real soon.
Well, you should figure that. Maybe you're one of those people who works better from a crisis or under pressure. And when things are going, lots of people are that way. If things are going too smoothly,
that's true.
And too kind of safe, you get...
You fall asleep.
Yeah, you need a little disaster somewhere chasing you at the heels. So what were you doing in New York? You doing a picture?
Oh, I did a picture for ABC. That's going to be on this fall. And the problem
That's
with
the other network.
The other network. One of the other.
One of the
But the title is deceptive. It's very hard to convince somebody that something with a title like How to Pick Up Girls can be a worthy project, but it really was.
That can be a very worthy project.
Yes. Oh, yes. So not a big girl.
Was there not a book at one time?
Yes, by Eric Weber. It's advertised in the National Lampoon and in Cosmopolitan, all those magazines.
As you say, it sounds a little, exploitation or exploitive?
Right.
How to pick up girls. Because the word pick-up in itself.
Pick-up, right there. It sounds kind of
That used to be a
sleazy.
terrible word for a girl, you know.
A pickup. Oh,
if you said a pickup, that was that she's a bad lady. Yeah.
I know.
So you liked this, though. It was all right.
But it was, I almost wouldn't even read the script because I thought with a title like that, oh, come on, what did they, expect? And I knew also, I figured, with my luck, if I'm reading a script called How to Pick Up Girls, I'll be playing the girl next door who doesn't get picked up. So I thought, that won't be any fun. But then I read it, and it was really one of the loveliest things I'd ever read. And, doing it in New York was great. It's based on the story of the man who wrote How to Pick Up Girls in real life. When the story in the movie, and I think it's pretty close to the real thing, is that a guy comes to New York and he's struck out in a relationship back home in Nebraska, and
yes,
it happens.
I struck out there many times myself. Yes.
And he comes to the city and he wants to be a swinger, and he keeps striking out, using all the usual techniques of, wow, you're a pretty blonde, you must be Swedish, and things like that. And the girl talks Swedish at him, right? And he can't understand a word she says. And I play the girl upstairs who's writing an art thesis, and I keep interviewing people like Howard Cosell on a little tape recorder. And one day he gets the idea from looking at me doing an interview with a tape recorder. He goes, wait a second, and he goes out on the street and he starts going up to women and saying, hi, I'm doing a thesis on male-female relationships. Would you mind answering a few questions?
Which is in itself not a bad way to pick up girls.
And that's how he does it. That's how he breaks the ice. And so that's kind of the start of the movie.
Have you ever been picked up?
Picked up. Well, yes.
What was the line?
I'll tell you, what we were thinking about that is that I don't think, maybe you disagree, I don't believe that anybody can be picked up unless they want to be. There's no line good enough. If somebody's in love, or if they're happy, or whatever, it doesn't matter how good the line is, they're going to say, oh, aren't you cute, or something like that, and they're going to move on. So unless they want to be picked up, it doesn't really work, and I think that was maybe the point of those books that were written in the magazines.
You're probably
that do
right,
that.
yeah.
It's for the people who are having a hard time breaking the ice.
Where do you go to meet available young men or available young ladies in a big city? Singles bars. Singles bars are not really the street.
Yeah.
Singles bars are not really the answer because you meet so many desperate people.
Right, that's the thing.
Oh God, they're desperate in there.
Like they are.
Yeah, they look like this. You know, it's like you're comparison shopping at a Ralph's Market. Yeah, that one. No, big one. No. It's madness.
They look up and down.
Oh.
But
I'm only saying this from what my friends have told me.
Oh.
I'll admit I've been in it when I was between marriages. I went into just to look at one of those places once.
Just to look.
But man, it is murder. That's murder in there.
I found that even the streets in New York are bad right now. I was walking up to work one day. I didn't live very far from where we were shooting. And I was kind of dressed for the picture, which meant my hair was all frizzy and blue jeans and sneakers. And I looked about 10, maybe. And I was whistling and my hands were stuffed in my pockets. And this 45-year-old businessman, looking very proper, walks past me and winks. And I kind of went, hello, because I was in a good mood. I won't be really mean. And when I smiled, he did this about face, and he comes up to me and he goes, you know, I think we could really relate to each other. I could have done.
Relate to each other.
Relate to each other. And I thought this guy probably really practiced that line.
That sounds like a deep relation.
A deep, yeah.
You know, you want to meet guys at the beach here, or you want to meet girls, you know how to do it in California?
How?
The best way?
How?
I'm serious. Go to the beach, rent yourself a dog. A little dog, a cute dog, and take it to the beach.
Have you done this?
No, I'm just telling you, this is absolutely wonderful. Because the dog will run over from group to group. You see?
And lift its leg on people.
No. And you run over and say, have you seen my dog? Or the dog, if you just walk up the beach, you see the dog will go to a group of people or a group of guys. And then it's a perfect entree to go in and say, oh, little Toto ran over here. Toto? I'm back in the Wizard of Oz, aren't I? Wasn't that Toto? You know, that's perfect.
I'd never thought of that. But
you just rent the dog if you don't have one.
Rent a dog.
To meet friends.
There'll be a magazine.
No, I read that somewhere that somebody did. A guy took a dog and went to the beach, and he'd run up to a bunch of girls sitting there, and the guy naturally would come up and say, and there was his entree.
That's wonderful.
Isn't that great?
That's almost as good as taking a tape recorder and doing it.
Saying I'm doing a survey. Yeah. But that looks almost...
But that worked.
Yeah.
That worked. I mean, for real. I mean, the true life story of the man, it really worked. And in the movie, it also works. He ends up then writing a book based on, what he's learned from all these interviews on the street.
And you did the movie, and it'll be out this fall.
Yeah.
How to pick up girls.
How to pick up
Did you
girls.
get picked up in the picture?
Nah, I didn't get picked up.
Really?
I played the one who was opposed to the concept, so, I win out in the end. Yeah.
Moral upbringing.
Yeah.
We'll do this. We'll be back. Bobby Kelton is here. And also Elia Kazan.